Diogo Monica, co-founder of Anchorage, the first federally chartered digital asset bank. Diogo, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's break this down. What does that mean? You got this designation this week. When we talk about the first federally chartered digital bank dealing with cryptocurrencies, what does that mean? What does that enable you to do?
Well, it means that for the first time, institutions have a company that has both the technology and the regulatory clarity so that they can build products in crypto. That was not the case until Wednesday.
Yeah. I spoke to Michael Sonnenschein of Grayscale yesterday, $2 to $20 billion in assets under management last year for that Bitcoin trust. Most of that institutional. You're obviously operating and focusing on that institutional realm as well. What are you seeing in terms of demand? What are the type of, products and infrastructure that these institutional players that are in large part driving the rally we've seen looking for?
Yeah, so Anchorage is a regulated digital asset platform. What we allow is institutions to build products in crypto by providing them custody, trading, borrowing, lending, and all these other blockchain activities. We actually have quite a few different client profiles. We have hundreds of clients, but as two examples, we have institutional investors. Think about large VC firms or crypto funds, for example, Andreessen Horowitz, that want to invest in the bleeding edge of crypto assets. And on the other side, you have large corporates, for example, Visa, wanting to build products in crypto. We have seen a massive difference from 3 years ago, where institutions were coming to Anchorage to ask us what they should do in crypto. And now they're coming to Anchorage with very concrete ideas of what they want to build on our platform and asking specifically how they can build it.
Diogo, I wonder, are people also coming to your platform to help them find their Bitcoin? And I mention that simply because I think a lot of people have seen this statistic. I don't know whether it's correct, but even if it's directionally right, that as much as 20% is so-called stranded, people forgot their passwords. Is that a real thing? And what can you do about it?
Yeah, it is unfortunately a real thing. But if you think about it, Bitcoin is a very distinct asset. It is digital in nature, but it is a bearer instrument. If you think about the fact that owning Bitcoin is equivalent to having to have this passphrase, almost like you have in these online products. You have to remember the passphrase. And remember, people are terrible at remembering their passphrases, so it's only natural that they're also terrible at maintaining control of digital assets. But this is part of the reason why Anchorage exists. The custody technology that we've built has a proven track record for years, moving billions of dollars on chain. And this is part of the reason why this announcement on Wednesday is so important. You finally have the ability for the institutions that have been sitting on the sidelines, either because of safety concerns or lack of regulatory clarity. Now they can actually come in and offer these services. And if you think about it, in 2020, we've had PayPal come out with offering crypto buy and sell to their clients. We've had Square do the same. Anchorage has been seeing a huge influx in neobanks and challenger banks, seeing that the millennials want to own crypto assets. And now they know that they actually have to provide these services, and they're looking for a partner to do so.
When I think of something like a bank charter, I think about regulations and compliance. I wonder what your outlook is in terms of regulations for the crypto market, especially as a new administration here in the U.S. takes hold next week.
A national bank charter is the highest watermark that we can have.
Yep.
It really moves crypto from this piecemeal state-by-state regulatory regime that we were in to the federal level. So this is actually really good to have this high watermark for crypto. And any crypto companies or any companies that were in the sidelines not being able to feel like they knew what the regulatory status of digital custody or stablecoin issuance or even participation in these decentralized protocols, now they know. We are at the same level as all the other national banks and being able to provide these services with very explicit, univocally regulatory clarity.
Yeah, so just quickly, what does this conversation mean not only for the price of Bitcoin, but also for the volatility?
I think this means that there will be a lot more institutions participating. We've seen that in 2020. If you think about the narrative in 2017 with the price of Bitcoin rising, primarily fueled by retail, in 2020, 3 years later, you have a very different narrative. This narrative of Bitcoin as a store of value has really started to get into the companies. If you think about Square and MicroStrategy, publicly traded companies taking positions in Bitcoin out of their treasury for the explicit purpose of capital preservation. It really doesn't get better than this. And there's going to be a lot of other companies that are going to follow suit.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.